Hello and welcome back to SF, a Giant Recap. And the Giants, they lost today to the Dodgers, but today it wasn't really necessarily about the game. It's more about Brandon Crawford, who is most likely done. He hasn't officially announced if he's retiring or not, or if he's going somewhere else, or what's happening with that situation. But most likely he'll be retiring after the season, and I think that it's pretty sad, but also it's good that he ends now and not if he continues and he continues to struggle or not put up the numbers that you'd want to see Crawford put up. But it's unfortunate, though, that it's that time and that he decided to retire. So let's go over how the game went, and then we can go over how the season and everything went over throughout the whole season. So for the Giants offense today, there really wasn't much except for Casey Schmidt. I'm really excited about Casey Schmidt. He started to play a lot better. His performance today was really good. 2 home runs. That's really good to see. The Giants only scored 2 runs in the game, and that was thanks to Casey. So Casey, I think, will be our third baseman next year. I don't know what the future holds, but JD Davis, those guys, it may be interesting to see if they are on the team and what comes up in the future. So free agency is going to be interesting with this team. Are we going to be really aggressive and Zaidi's trying to save his job? Or is it going to be turned out like every other year where we don't really have much going on and we sign a bunch of over-the-hill vets who got off injuries or have struggled in the past? So it'll be interesting to see what happens and who we pick up. For the pitching, though, Kyle Harrison, he allowed no hits in 5 innings pitched today. He only allowed 2 walks. He did hit a couple guys, but he limited the damage, and that's what you want to see for Kyle Harrison. John Brebbia, though, he came in, he allowed 2 runs, and then Taylor Rogers, he allowed a 3-run homer. So that just kind of gave the game away right there. Ross Stripling, he did pitch solid, though. I'll give him that. He pitched 3 1/3 solid innings, getting 2 strikeouts. Just though that it wasn't enough because the Giants offense, they don't really show up. Case Smith's the only one decided to hit today, and everyone else kind of went to bed early this season. So hopefully, though, that the Giants can come back next year and perform well. Our rookies, I'm excited about the future. Our rookies are looking good, and these last couple weeks have been really good for our rookies. Kyle Harrison today, no hits in 5 innings. That's what you want to see from a guy like Kyle Harrison. He struggled with command a little bit, but that can be fixed. Stuff that can't be really learned is dominance in either velocity, location, all those. Command can be learned. So that's a good problem for Kyle Harrison to have and to tackle over the offseason. Blake Sabol, he will need a lot of catching lessons, and he'll need a lot of outfield lessons and basic base running, but the talent's there. He's got the skill. He's got the talent. Everything like that is there. He just needs to develop the skills of catching, receiving. His throws to second haven't been awful. They're not terrible, but they need some work. Patrick Bailey, the same thing. His concussion may be hurting his performance, but hopefully he can get some help over the offseason to either help his concussion or if it's just receiving, kind of in this bad mental place for the game, and see how that goes. For Casey Smith, he started out hot, then he just kind of tanked. He got ice cold, couldn't hit. The whole league figured him out, came back up, and then he puts up 2 home runs today. That's something you love to see when a guy starts out hot, struggles, come back, and he's now hot again, and hopefully we'll continue that to next year. We'll see how spring training goes. I think that'll be very telling for how our rookies will be. Tyler Fitzgerald, he came up, and he's played really well. I feel like it hasn't been a bunch of flukes because he's been playing more consistent than how Casey was. Casey was very streaky. One game he go 3 for 3, the next he go 0 for 3, where Tyler Fitzgerald is going like 1 for 3 or something like that. And so it's really good to see that Casey Schmidt that Tyler Fitzgerald has developed more of a consistency, and I think that that'll be key to his success in the future. Elliot Ramos, I'm kind of tossed up at where he'll be next year. If they give him more of a chance, if they try to stay with him, or if they just kind of part ways. Same with Joey Bart. It'll be kind of a toss up there. Josh the Dragon says, let's see. Farewell, Brandon Crawford. Yeah, I think that he is probably he's probably announcing his retirement. I'm surprised that he didn't say anything after the game though about his retirement. He didn't come out and fully say that. That's what I was expecting at the end of the game, but he came at it's just kind of everything's for all the things he's done. Um, I cried when Correa pulled Craw out. Yeah, it was very sad and very just hard to get over because that's our childhood and that's Crawford who's uh, offense and as a person and his career. We'll go over his career and everything. But right now, though, let's talk about the future, how the Giants are, and how this game went, and then if Crawford officially, because I want something official. If they're just kind of lingering, I'll wait till then to talk about it. But we'll see how that plays out. For the future, though, I think that these rookies, they're going to be key. If the rookies don't succeed, this team is going to go in a while. Josh the Dragon says, 2 rings was definitely worth it. Yeah, 2 rings. He beat Tatis in MVP voting, which I loved because everyone was hyping up Tatis and how good he is. And he beat him in MVP voting, got the Gold Glove, and he was an older guy compared to Tatis, and that was just amazing as well. So 2021, the 2012, 2014, the Gold Gloves from 15 on, and the amazing Clutch Crawford and his walk off setup of rallies, his 3-run homers, his grand slam to start it off in his career against Milwaukee, his grand slam against the Pirates, just everything. They add up, and he definitely deserves all the credit he'll get. And I saw that Alex Pavlovich said no one else will wear number 35 for the Giants, and I think that'll be the same way with 28 for Buster. So it's sad, but I'm glad that he ends it now on a higher note than if he went and played next year and he just struggles and no one and people remember the bad stuff and not the good. So good of him to kind of hang it up here. But for the Giants, though, I think the pitching will be interesting to see. Do we go out and we add a bunch of people like we did last year, kind of, or do we hang with the people we got and keep doing the bulk innings? I'm not 100% sure. Because Zaidi's still there. It's going to be kind of a toss-up with how the things go in the offseason with free agency. I think, though, that we should probably go after we should probably keep Cobb. Junis is kind of right there if we should let him go or keep him. Wood should probably be gone. DeSclafani should be gone. We have to drop a lot of players, in my opinion. Jock, he's got to go. Jock's he didn't do much this year. I think Jock has to go soon. I think that we go after for relievers. Jordan Hicks would be a good option. Joe Jimenez would also be a good option. Brebbia, he struggled all year. He wasn't very consistent. Like today, he allowed a couple runs. He's probably going to go too. I think, though, for the infielders, it's going to be a loaded infield with the rookies. We got Tyro, who's going to be not a rookie, obviously. We got Lamont Wade on the right side. But then on the left side, we got Fitzgerald. We got Casey Schmidt. We got Marco Luciano. We got those 3 guys. And I think those 3, with their talent, if they can just develop some skill, some consistency, and some structure, they're going to be really good. And it's going to be awesome for next year if they can show up and be that good for us. And on that left side of the infield, it's going to be huge. Tyler Fitzgerald, though, he can also play center. We have Elliot Ramos who can play left. We have Sable who can play left. It's going to be kind of all over the place with rookies or guys who will now be in their second year, and it'll be a bunch of young talent. I think that will bring our payroll way down because we're only paying them for like the league minimum or around there. So we can go after free agents like Shohei because we'll have the money. It's not going to be limited because they're not going to be on a heavy payroll. So if we're having young guys playing we can go after a big guy like Shohei, or if we're not getting Shohei, we can maybe go after Lucas Giolito or some people like that. Josh the Dragon says, so glad Kapler's gone. Yeah, Kapler, I don't know. He's kind of a puppet in my opinion, but yeah, I'm happy he's gone, but the job's not done until Zaidi's gone. Zaidi is the number one problem. He constructed this roster, and this roster failed. We gave Haniger too many chances. Conforto sucked it up this year. Luke Jackson wasn't any better. Stripling was terrible. Stripling, we have to DFA him, in my opinion. Try to trade him something, but if you can't trade him, DFA him. He has to be gone. He really didn't perform anything special, and I think that Kapler was a scapegoat for Zaidi, and Zaidi is the main problem here. We'll see how what is Josh Dragon? I doubt we're gonna get Shohei because Farhan is stupid. Yeah, Farhan's stupid, but if he's gone, I think we have a good shot at getting Shohei. But even if Zaidi is still here and he goes after Shohei, I think he's going to try to save his butt and save his job for that. If he gets Shohei, he's going to use that as why he shouldn't get fired. And that's kind of what I'm afraid. But if we get Shohei, I'm going to be happy either way. So I think that it'll come down to, is Farhan going to be saying that he needs to save money, and which is we don't, because we have all the money in the world right there, and you have a bunch of guys who are going to be playing for really little. You can go after Shohei, and obviously Zaidi is pretty stupid, but is he going to try to save his job with going after Shohei and saying that he should stay and keep his job because he got Shohei? That's going to kind of come down to it. Also, they said we were going after Judge, and we didn't get Judge. So we literally missed out on 2 stars last offseason. Yeah, Correa, Judge, we missed out on those guys because Zaidi is stupid. Like you said before, we missed out on those 2 guys. We said, oh, yeah, we're pursuing them. We're going to go get them. We're going to do this. We're going to build this super team. And then we lose both of them, and you saw this season turned out. We're not even in the playoffs, and we weren't even that close. Aaron Judge, Trey Turner, and Carlos Correa. I meant 3 stars. Yeah, those 3. I don't know how much we were in on Trey Turner. He liked the East Coast. I doubt he was coming here. But yeah, Aaron Judge, we had the report that he was coming here. Obviously a false report. And then Carlos Correa, we had the incident with the health and this physical. And those 2 things right there, they pushed fans over the edge. We started out good. We started out bad in April. Then in May, we were getting that 10-game winning streak. June, we continued. We had a little bit of a rough patch here and there, but then coming out of the All-Star break, we had like 6-game winning streak. And then ever since beginning of August, it's just been a downfall. Everything has sucked. On the road, we sucked. We were terrible. No one showed up to play. No one even looked like they wanted to be there. The offense is the biggest problem. If we don't address the offense, we're not going to get better next year. The pitching, if you take the pitching that we had and put it with the Braves offense or the Dodgers offense, I think that team easily makes it in the playoffs, because the pitching, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad at all. They limited to around like 3 runs, 4 runs a game, and that should be enough to get a win most of the time and get us into the playoffs, but obviously not. So just kind of something to look forward there. I'll be doing very little videos in the next couple weeks because it's the end of the term for school, so that's pretty stressful, but we'll see how things go, and I'll have a video coming out around different things throughout the offseason if we're adding anyone and what happens there. Jock is definitely not resigning again because we are bad, and when he moves on, he'll be an MVP back with the Dodgers or something. I don't know about MVP. I think that Jock will not resign here. I think that he will leave, and I don't want him to come back because he struggled. He wasn't really consistent, swinging out of his shoes. It wasn't that I hated him. He was a pretty good player, but it's just I think he's kind of overdue of his prime or his good performance. So I don't know that I won't be surprised if he has a great season next year without us, but MVP, that's a big ask for Jock Peterson. So we'll see how what will happen during the offseason. I'll talk about all those in different videos or live streams or whatever you guys think would be best, because I I think that hearing your guys' thoughts and seeing different opinions on what's going to happen will be interesting, because this offseason, I'm honestly not sure. Last offseason, I kind of knew which way we were going. It's kind of apparent to how Zaidi was going to go after everyone and how it's going to happen. But this year, I have no idea. After firing Kapler and Crawford's probably gone, I don't know how this is going to turn out. So it's going to be interesting, and it's going to be we're going into the unknown of how this offseason will turn out. So that will probably do it for today's live stream. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll have videos upcoming soon around if Crawford's retiring, how the Giants are going to play out in the offseason, some postseason stuff, and hopefully the Dodgers will lose in the postseason. So I'll see you next time for a new SF Giant Recap video.